Heyo. Now I got to check always just to make sure my microphone is on. But hi, my name is James. This is my channel, Bigger Words, and tonight we're going to stream Kirby's Halloween Adventure, which is a hack of Kirby's Adventure. Quick shout out to everyone who was already here: Matt Sweeney, Dorlaxon, Scott Bogfoot, Jeff Linquist, Rafael De Lagetto, Greg Curlett, 3Cat Day, who is handing out gift memberships like Halloween candy. Thank you, fucking crazy. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you. That's really, really, really cool of you. I hope all of you random folks got a membership, dig it, and say thank you to that cat. Literally that 3Cat. Famicom Fanatic, an active user. I may miss a few people here. Cadence, Bluntbrush, Blue EXE Videos, Helgard, Misery Love Company, Debs, oh boy, Dan Tereska, Quentin Rom, I Will Quietly Resist, Polska G, the Elucidus. Anyone else I didn't say hi to? Thank you for being here. You guys rule. And I almost forgot to mention it in my post. I had to edit it. Thank you to Ari Carr, who I've mentioned a few times. Ari sent me this, which is what I'm playing on, the EverDrive, which allows me to play all these hacks. Before he sent me this, oops, not this game. Before he sent me this very kind gift, the only way I could play hacks is if they came on actual carts, which people like Matt Sweeney and others have sent me hacks in the past, but it's pretty cool to just be able to get them whenever I want now. So we are going to be playing some more hacks this season and all that stuff. Okay, I know very little about this. I'm not really clear if this is actually a new game or if it's just Kirby, but it looks like Halloween. Hopefully it's more of a new game and I'm not just playing regular Kirby, but either way, we'll find out what it's got. Scariest Kirby game is a Mario game. Yeah, that's probably it. Pumpkin Prairie. Oh, he had a little devil horn. Isn't that cute? Oh, and he's a little ghost. And he's not a little pumpkin. This is very adorable. I hope that's what you guys came for, was some adorable action. He looked tasty. I mean, this looks very much like the first level of Kirby's Adventure. I don't know if I would say I know it so well that I could tell you right away if this is like a one-for-one palette swap, you would call it, where it's just the same game but with totally different graphics. Whereas most of the hacks are not like that. They're most of the hacks are like completely new games and graphics. Or some combination of old graphics and new graphics sort of thing. This looks amazing. Look at those flowers. I love it. Yo to everybody else. Say Kirby's gone black? Oh shit, you're right. Weird.
Greg Curlett donated $2. James, no picture. Black Void of Death.
What happened there? I mean, I'd say you guys would miss something. I honestly could not tell you. It's pretty ridiculous.
$1.99.
It's.
I can't see crap.
Thank you, you guys, for chiming in. I couldn't tell you why that happened. I mean, there's always fucking something. I made such an effort to
$1.99. Black Void of Death.
That's what it sounds like when several of you talk at the same time. Thank you guys. I do appreciate it. Wouldn't it be funny if that was the entire point of my stream was just to fuck it up, so you guys had to donate to get my attention so that I could fix it? Thank you guys for the assistance. I've never seen that in particular happen. It's almost always my microphone. That's a guarantee that I will probably fuck that up at least once. But it's not very often something like that.
Blood brushed up. Set. Black screen home.
Yeah, you really... I don't know how much of that you guys missed, but you really didn't miss anything. It looks exactly like what the little bit that you saw. Oh, look at this. Whoa. What the hell is that? What is this? What is that? And there's like, I want that little one. Even though it gives me less lives, I want to see what that is. This is really well drawn. This whole thing is really cool. Look at that little girl.
3 Cat Day donated $2. Donations were the treat. James played the trick.
Thank you. All part of my trick. Okay, so my impression so far is this looks awesome. It looks very awesome. Let's see.
Donations were the treat. James played the trick.
I didn't even realize, look, your life is candy. Very cute. Ba-da-da-da. I'm really impressed by the drawing. It it's really well done. Like especially the that crane game looked amazing. That was really cool. Whee! Whoa, look at the little fish. That's so cute. That's all I'm gonna be saying the entire stream. Look at that cute little guy. The one who's the laser is the most subtle. His just looks like a little he looks exactly the same, but he's got a little devil horn. I forgot you can run in this game. Look at that. That'll be one of my videos when I really run out of things to talk about, is like NES games where you can run. Because honestly, that's it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It says I got a rock. Do you see that? Like you got it for trick-or-treating. I got a rock. It is one of my favorite mechanics. There really aren't a lot of games where you can run at this stage in video games. River City Ransom. I can't really think of any others. I'm sure there are some. All right, I'm getting a beer. Follow-up games where you can jump. I mean, I guess in Mario you can run. That's not really what I mean. I think I mean where you can double dash. So, Mighty Final Fight. Most of them are beat 'em ups, I guess. But Kirby is one where if you tap left or right twice, you can run, which is pretty cool. Like, and I mean, you could do that in Mario, obviously. You just hold down the B button. But having it as its own function is neat. I don't know. Like I said, can't really imagine that would be the most exciting video I make. Burning. You guys are seeing the thing at the bottom, right? It tells you what power-up you have. This is the fireball. It's just called burning. This is one of my favorite abilities. I think because it's kind of reckless. You just go, whee! Burninating the countryside. Burninating the presents. Oh, I'll take that. I think what I've learned since the last time I played Kirby, which I played on this channel before, is that I think the point of it is not to treat it very seriously. I think if you do that, you're gonna be disappointed. Whoa, that's an actual rock. That's so awesome. Look, this time he's excited. He says, I got an actual rock. That rules. This game is so awesome. I wanted that thing up there. My point was that I feel like you're not supposed to play Kirby with any real thought about its like difficulty or challenge per se. You're just supposed to play it. Oops. And just kind of enjoy it for what it is. Like, find ways that it makes you have fun with it.
Greg Curlitt donated $2. New video NES games that give you the runs.
Hey-oh, this guy. Coming in with the hot jokes. Thank you. Yeah, that would be a pretty good title. I think doing things like being the fireball or the wheel, which are both very difficult.
New video NES games that give you the runs.
They're both very difficult to control. Okay. The wheel and the fireball are really difficult to control. So, like, using them adds kind of more to the challenge. B-ball. Huh. I definitely don't remember this being the very first... Whee! This is one of the more useless abilities, but it's pretty fun. Whoa. I want that. No, it's just a needle again. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Oh. I'm not even gonna eat your corpse. Oh yeah, hold on. Yet another very useless. Whee! In a game where your character can fly, that's got to be the least useful ability. Swear jar. Me? I was thinking about how my sister did that with her nephew. Not that he was swearing, but I think to kind of get her and my brother-in-law better about it, and how he used to watch my streams pretty often, and there was one time where I intentionally was trying to swear as much as possible to you know, give him a little edge, give him a little extra money. I don't think I ever paid him anything for it. I think I might have made my sister pay him for it, but I thought it was pretty clever. Happy early Halloween, all that stuff. The high jump. Oh, that's a terrible one for this one. Wait, or can I? Let's see. Okay, this is gonna be funny. This is so stupid. If you have the needle here, for instance, this guy is impossibly easy. You just stand there and needle him to death. But this is working. I high jumped him to death. My mom did say she thought my language was getting better. And that's probably true. Because before I had kids, I just said whatever the hell I wanted to. Even to my parents, I thought it was... There was just a point where I didn't care anymore. And that point was like 20... It was like 25, I feel like. Before that, I would maybe occasionally, but around like 25, I just said whatever I wanted to. And they got tired of scolding me. And eventually started to join in. Now I can occasionally get my mom to say F-bombs. I mean, unless I'm crazy, this is just the regular Kirby game. I'm sure you guys can confirm or deny that. Because I'm sure you guys probably know it better than I do, but it looks just like the Kirby game. I feel like it's even when you get the umbrella in a regular Kirby. Like, pretty, nah, not the wheel. Wow, sword? No. That one says, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Props to whoever made this. Also for using the word y'all. The thing when I went to college that people called me out for. Because I don't think they realized I was Southern until I said it. Not the Mary Poppins part. I never said anything about Mary Poppins. Ah, oh, so close. It's an S word. That's awesome. Stage layouts are different. All right, well, that's good enough. I'll take it. All right, let's see what this one is. And this is the one where you eat the eggs, not the bombs. Still day to day. I'm eating pumpkins. Missed 3. That's okay. What the hell are those? Yeah, like he should be wearing a witch's hat or something. If you're gonna switch up all these sprites, you could switch his up. Or a wizard's crown. You know what I'm talking about. Best line from Marvel movies. That's pretty good. Trying to think of what the last one I saw was Thunderbolts, which I wouldn't have gone to see. I think my dad and my brother just wanted to go see a movie, and it's always fun when it's just the 3 of us. And we went to see Thunderbolts, and it was good. I mean, like, I feel like I can easily complain about the Marvel movies, but like I would have killed to have a movie as good as Thunderbolts in 2001 or something, you know, where the best Marvel movie was the first X-Men movie and maybe the first Spider-Man movie soon after that, you know, like those are both great, but like we just didn't have comic book movies of any kind of quality. So I think it's only the glut of Marvel movies that makes me go, I don't really want to watch Miss Marvel. Wasn't that a movie? Or Marvel's Captain Marvel? I did see Captain Marvel. There's another one, Madam Web. Yeah, like that shit. I just Craven. They made a Craven movie. Why? This is another ability I love that's not very useful, is the rock. It's very satisfying. Yeah, in-game was fun. Like, they did really great, and I think this is everyone's opinion. I'm not going to say anything new, but they did really great with making you care about characters like Thor and Iron Man, and having that ultimately lead up to... Oh, I thought it still had the stone. Weird. Having that lead up to... Or they all connect enough to get to the Infinity Gauntlet stuff. I thought that was really, really inspired. The problem is that they kept going with that idea of having to connect everything. And then everything got... As the shows and movies got more mediocre, and then they all referenced each other, you're like, did I miss something? Was I supposed to have watched Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. to know what the hell they're talking about in this scene? Because I have no idea what the hell this is. Damn it. I'm definitely gonna eat this guy. Whee! Uh-oh. We got some Christines out here. And some clowns with chainsaws, I think. Get up there. Mom liked the Captain America movie. Was it a newer one? Trying to think of what the last... What is this? Crane game? I like the evil Boo. I guess all Boos would technically be kind of evil, right? Yeah, I love the way this looks. I fucked that up. Oh well. Yeah, yeah, unfortunately everybody else tried to follow suit, right? Or didn't really, or should have and didn't. I'm surprised they haven't made more toy-based movies like Barbie, where they're gonna completely miss the reason why people liked Barbie and make, like, I don't know, next movie. I don't know what Lincoln Logs the movie, or like something like the Lego movie, like not understand why that worked. I think it's just because people like the product placement. I like the mask. It kind of looks like the mask from Mario 2. My daughter is starting to learn. I've been teaching her Mario 2. She likes Mario 2 because it's got Princess in it, and but she's terrible. She like doesn't understand, you know, moving and jumping at the same time. Under pressure, she will either do absolutely nothing or jump when she means to attack, that sort of thing. But it's pretty fun. But because of that, we only play like the first 2 levels before she gets bored and we move on. So I've done that part where you get the key in the level 2. And the mask chases you. Like, I've done that like 20 times in the last couple months. Oh, look, this little fox with a sword. Thank you, buddy. Look at this background. This is nice. I mean, they're not like the most... It's not like they're the most sophisticated graphics or something. The backgrounds, not that Kirby necessarily was. That wasn't really the strong point of Kirby. But, like, you could tell a lot of effort went into it. Yes! Do-do-do-do-do. Need an actual Legend of Zelda movie? Yeah, I think it could work. I think that story could be simple enough. Like, especially the way that like the later dungeons differentiate, where it's like, this is the desert dungeon, this one's the water one. You have to like, you know, troubleshoot, problem solve stuff. Works better than the original where all the dungeons kind of look the same. I think you could do something like that where there's like just a series of like really clever set piece dungeons in a final battle. Maybe some lore in there somewhere. I'm sure it wouldn't be that hard. They made the Mario movie, and like, I love that, the animated Mario movie. I thought it was great. And like, it does a great job of like making an actual story that like is mildly compelling. Enough callbacks. Of course, it definitely comes from more of a place of comedy, which makes sense for Mario because it's pretty lighthearted. Whereas Zelda, you kind of have to take seriously. And that part's going to be tricky. But who knows? Again, I never had any faith for any video game movie. As a kid who grew up playing a lot of video games and hating all the movies that came out, the only one I liked was the first Mortal Kombat movie. Whoa, look at this guy about to get wrecked. What? Look at this fool. Oh. He looks like Kid Nicky, like he moves like Kid Nicky. Bye. Throw. Okay. Also a very useless ability. Let's give it a shot.
Brock Sampson donated $2. Kirby Halloween. Time to get spooky, boys and girls. Jack-o'-lantern emoji.
Sorry, I left out the jack-o'-lantern emoji. Yes. Yes, it is. Thank you, Rock. And thank you all for being here, watching some funkiness. I have a bunch of people coming through the next few weeks to play sort of, not really spooky, sort of. Actually, I guess only one of them isn't spooky. But, and so this was kind of like this is kind of a random choice. It's something I'd heard about. It's wrestler. Oh, yeah. All right, here's a good useless one. This is what I mean. This is how you have to play Kirby, is like choose an ability that makes no sense, that's completely impractical, and then try and make it fun to play. Oops, and I lost it. I don't know what these numbers represent. 6, 7. Oh, there was like a tiny little star there I didn't see. Oops. Inscription? I don't think I know that game. If you're on my Patreon, you'll know which games we're probably gonna play, because I did a poll and everybody voted. This was one of the games that people voted on. I think this came in maybe second. So it's not the game that came in first, which I said I was gonna do in my next stream, but I think that'll actually be next week, so that my friend Travis can come over and try it with me. Whoa! But next week we're gonna play some. There's a ROM hack of Solstice, which I've never tried. I have no idea if it'll be good or not, but I'm gonna give it a shot. And then also, my friend Travis, who's been on here before, Woodman Classics, he says he can speedrun Solstice, which is, I would like to see as someone who loves that game. Like, I can beat it, I don't know, maybe like 45 minutes or something, but like, I think he could do it in just a few minutes. So I'm curious. So maybe we'll get him to do some of that if he comes through. Oops. Oh shit, that was awesome. I don't think I've ever been caught by the lion before. Damn it. This is a very awkward book. I've never been beaten so badly by that lion before. Games and genres by companies not known for that genre. There you go. Like, Konami doing a puzzle game or something. Not really. The wind is actually the hardest part about this. There we go. I just need a dash. Okay. This is surprisingly hard. There we go. Burning. Okay. I don't understand who the little girl is. She's shown up a few times. She just kind of flew past. Maybe it's like a character I don't know. Because the wind blows. There, you got me. Hard mode is not using transformations. That honestly wouldn't really make it that much harder. Let's use the laser. Oops. Let's use the laser because I didn't remember I had the fireball. Well, let's fight this guy with the fireball then. Oh, how apropos. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah. Easy. I'm gonna take your ice. Now I'm gonna desecrate your corpse. Guess there's not really any point to that, huh? It doesn't give you anything. It's just to take his ability. Huh. Guess I never really realized that. Yeah, like I don't recognize this. Oh. Would have thought that was an obstacle, but it's part of the background. Whee! Such a good soundtrack. This weekend is my wife and I's anniversary. I think it's technically Sunday, but we're going out of town, which never happens. Just two of us going up to Chattanooga, to the mean streets of, which is a place both of us really like a lot. If you've never been to Chattanooga, I find it very, very enjoyable in a way that I don't really find Nashville. I don't think I've spent enough time in Memphis. Maybe I would really like Memphis, but I've kind of just done a few of the like, I went to Sun Records and I went to the Stacks and stuff. I didn't go to Graceland, which Eddie's been to Graceland a few times. But, you know, there's not really a lot of cities that close to Atlanta. Like bigger cities. Savannah is cool, but it's like 4.5, 5 hours. And Birmingham, Alabama is about 2 hours away, which is okay. And then there's stuff in North Carolina like Greenville and Asheville, which are Asheville is cool, and we have people up there. But and Greenville is okay. It's alright. So like, there's not a ton of options of like, there's no beaches really. There are mountains and lakes and stuff that are kind of close by. There's not really any options of like other cities to go to. Charlotte is just as far away. So the closest city that really isn't that big is Chattanooga. We can go to Athens or something, but Athens is a pretty small town. Need to get the National Guard to Memphis and Atlanta. I mean, There's probably not enough. Oh, it's like you can teleport between the levels. Oh yeah, that's in the original game. The problem with Atlanta as a target for something like that is he's not just targeting democratic cities, it's also democratic states. So Chicago is a great example because it's in Illinois, the Obama homestead. So it's an easy one to pick on. That wasn't my best effort. Let's see what these are. Whereas Georgia, despite many things, is still pretty red. So I don't think there's as much danger here as there is in California, Oregon. I'm surprised Massachusetts has been left out of the conversation so far. New York too has kind of gotten off easy. I think that's because he lives there, and I don't know. Maybe there's more pressure. That's all the politics talks for a night. You can't even call that politics. You can't call fascism politics. I mean, it is, but you can't call that something that you can have a side on. Sending the military to domestic locations is not something that is a political opinion. It's something you disagree with, especially if you're someone who's like a Second Amendment advocate. You don't agree with troops occupying. That was the entire point of the Second Amendment. Actually, that was the Third Amendment? Which one says you can't let them stay in your house? Outside of the big city, most states are red. Sort of. But that's like saying New York is red outside of New York City is disingenuous, because the population of the outside of New York City is nothing compared to the actual city of New York. Same with California. There are places like Orange County that are fairly Republican, but like you can't compare that to San Francisco and Los Angeles. They make up too large of a percentage of the population of that state. Whereas in Georgia, it's actually pretty close. The population of Atlanta, including the metro area, is, well, if you include the metro area, but it is about what the rest of the state is. What about all the people that live there that are happy to get crime under control? I think if you went to a place like DC and asked if crime was under control, they would tell you that when they go to the National Mall, there are a million people there. What else are they doing? What kind of crime do you think you prevent by having giant squads of people with guns parading around? Like, what crime is being prevented? Like, isn't that what you have intelligence agencies for? Even within your local police department? What does the military know about your local crime syndicates? What do they know about like organized crime in any capacity? Even if we're just talking about like drugs, gangs, whatever it may be. The answer is nothing. What they know is walking around and trying to intimidate people. And it's not like people are out there just like committing crimes waiting to be stopped by the military. You have to investigate said crimes. I live in a very dangerous city, and it's not like I see dangerous crime on a daily basis. It has to be found. It's a wholly performative act, because you can send every member of the military to a city, and yeah, there might not be any documented crime because it'd be hard to tell, but it wouldn't be an effective deterrent for crime long term. It wouldn't actually solve any crime. It might just prevent some prematurely. Also not political. Sorry. I think you could ask any cop and they might be like, I mean, it would be helpful if I was doing a bunch of raids to just have like a military force to take down this like fucking giant trap house or something. But like, I don't know, ask them in Illinois. Like, do you think it's helpful to them to do their jobs? I can't imagine it is in any way. I would just imagine it gets in the way of them getting to actual responses. So if you're talking about perception of crime, does it make people feel safer? Probably, especially if you're not bothered by the idea of your own military occupying your city. Do I think it actually prevents crime? Fuck no. Hell no. And if your intention was to ask me the right question to get me angry about that shit, then yes, you succeeded. Let's let criminals pretend they're doing anti-crime stuff. Oh, I see. If you mean ICE, then yeah, I get it. Do I want the rest of the country? Have you been to Chicago or Portland? And I'm being very sincere here. I've been to both many times. I have friends and family who live in both. They are beautiful cities. So if you think that they need to be attacked like in Iraq or Afghanistan, I'm sorry to say, man, but you're under a deep misperception about what the fabric of a city is, of what is happening in this country, of what constitutes not only like a dangerous urban environment, but like what the approach to tackling something like that is. I can tell you, if you go to Portland with a military operation is not going to make that place safer. I think it's already pretty safe.
Cat Day donated $5. Have you ever considered watching the Super Mario or Zelda cartoons on stream? The old school ones with the live action segment.
Yeah, I have not. That would be pretty funny. That would be pretty funny. I think I haven't watched the Marios in a long time. I did watch the Zeldas not that long ago. They're pretty terrible. I remember them being very good, but I was a little kid. I don't think I thought the like excuse me stuff was as obnoxious as I find it now. But and nothing really happens, of course, but it does look, I mean, parts of it look cool. Like some of the enemies look cool in ways that I didn't really imagine from playing the game, you know? And thank you.
Considered watching the Super Mario or Zelda cartoons on stream. The old school ones with the live action segments.
Whee! There was one, God, who was it? It was like, there was like one the other day. I don't know if my wife sent it to me or something, where it was like, it was one of these people I had heard of vaguely who was on some show. I don't remember what it was, but she was like a babe and she was young. She was like 17 or something. And she was on there like getting her plumbing fixed, which doesn't make any sense. Like she brought her sink to their plumbing office. And then they like did something wrong and got her like really dirty. It was like really weird. It didn't make any sense. It was just like a weird celebrity cameo. And she played that for me. I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't remember any of this from watching this show. I remember them fighting Koopa mostly.
Brock Sampson donated $2. Oh heck no. You'll get DMCA'd in a heartbeat.
I mean, maybe.
The floor laughing emoji. The floor laughing emoji.
I don't think I realized that's what that emoji was. I think, whoa, look at this snarf. I think if I were to do something like that, I'd probably do it on something like Twitch, where I'm not really as concerned about getting demonetized. If you guys don't know, when that nudity video really set back my channel. As proud as I am of that, because I actually really do like the content of it. It definitely got me like pushed back in the algorithm world, and I'm kind of clawing my way back now, if that makes sense. So it's like it has the unfortunate what's it called, result of like me being more paranoid about content, which sucks. I never ever wanted to be censoring at all in any way, and so it's very frustrating as someone who enjoys doing this and like enjoys hanging out with you guys. It really disappoints me that I have to feel any sort of way about what I'm saying or doing for like fear of even like talking about ice raids or something, that I would have any fear of being somehow censored for that, which is, or like not even censored, but having your content debilitated, which is the exact same thing. There's a reason everyone wants to buy media now, and it's so you can do exactly that. Does the new hype feature help your videos? I just saw that. It maybe whenever my next video comes out, I will mention it to you guys, and you can try it, and we'll see. It's I don't really understand how that works, but like if it was just to get other people excited about it, then yeah, I feel like I have a lot of folks who are very supportive and genuinely like the videos and aren't just like coming for whatever the specific video is, but like come for every video, who would utilize that to help it like get more traction. So yeah, I feel like that could be very helpful if you have like a devoted following, as opposed to like making more clickbait stuff. You probably wouldn't press the hype button for a video you randomly got suckered into clicking on. But if you were like a fan, then you would be like, oh cool, I'll like use this to support my homie. Whee!
Matt Sweeney donated $2. Jack-o'-lantern emoji. Boo algorithm yeah 8-bit. Ghost emoji. Boo. Honeybee emoji. Purple. Monkey emoji.
Thank you, Matt. I concur. I concur. Something I talked about on my Patreon this week, which was a really weird topic. I was talking about sayings, like I think the correct term is idioms, where it's like you know, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, sort of thing. Oh, I actually died? Damn, I wasn't really paying attention. And
Matt Sweeney donated $2. Jack-o'-lantern emoji. Boo algorithm yeah 8-bit. Ghost emoji. Boo. Honeybee emoji. Purple. Monkey emoji. Dishwasher.
and I was talking about specifically like the things that my parents say, and I actually left out one, which there's a specific reason for it, but and I realized, especially after talking to my sister, that a lot of the things that my parents said to me that are like kind of catchphrases, you know, were like really tales of like middle class caution, like you know, one in the hand is worth two in the bush, or like what was another one? You know, don't count your chickens before they hatch. They're like a lot of what they would say I didn't realize, but were really like trying to preach risk with limited reward. Like be happy with what you've got, sort of like don't take on more than you can chew. Like, whereas like other people chimed in with all kinds of random stuff that their families would say, but like one person did say something that I was expecting, which is like more like go get it. Like I I think his was, if you don't ask, you'll never learn. I don't know, whatever it was, but it was like about reaching out for opportunities, like not being afraid to, like the worst they could say is no. So that's like a great idiom that you might say to your kids to like reflect that they need to just attempt every opportunity they can. That's not necessarily about risk. It's about like ambition. It's about seizing opportunity. And I think these are really interesting because they're like things that my parents have been saying to me my whole life that I wasn't really paying attention to, or I really probably found more annoying than anything. But I realized that it's really collected. It's a more focused version of their life philosophy, which is like maintain as best you can and do not overextend yourself. And I think I do agree with that, if that makes sense. Like, I don't really, I really don't feel like I would tell my kids something different. Like, you know, like some kind of philosophy about how they have to be winners or something, you know, like, you got to take your chances. They're not given to you, you know, like don't ever take no for an answer, those sort of things. Because those are 100% a philosophy that like I was not ever instilled with, of like go-getter, fight for everything you got sort of thing. God damn it. Anyway. All to the max, yeah. I don't remember there being so many of those guys that scream at you when you try and suck them up. That's what was like flying all over the place, and I was trying to avoid. I don't remember finding so many lions either. Whoa! Yeah, right. It's very grounded in reality, this stream, for some reason. Yeah, we're getting a lot of lion fights in this one. No. There's definitely some alterations. I didn't see the secret door in this one. It might have just been hard to see.
Cat Day donated $5. I don't remember there being that many guys who scream at you when you try to suck them up. If I didn't see Kirby on screen.
Story of my life, am I right? You got a bunch of guys, you're ready to suck them off, and then they just start screaming at you. You just can't get them out of your face. Thank you, 3Cat Day. And yeah, I completely was not aware of that. So then, where is this other exit? Give me that. Nope. Laser?
Captain donated $5. There being that many guys who scream at you when you try to suck them up. If I didn't see Kirby on screen right now.
Alright, what does he have? The mic. That's not helpful. Oh, down there. It's like a tiny one block. There we go. Oh, hello. I think I can exit, yep. The stream got a like for that comment. Thank you, thank you. That's what I'm here for. Hooray! Oops. Got a little cocky with my second. I've used this music a few times in my videos. It's a pretty short loop, but it's a... I think this is like a really good... I think I've used it a few times at the end of a video, like just the outro. It's kind of perfect music for that. Your grandpappy used to say that each white hair on your head is one piece of wisdom. I mean, if that's true, then I've got a fucking ocean of wisdom that's been taking over my head since I turned 18. Just... yeah. I realized, part of it is probably my own, like, I'm not very arrogant, I think, at work. I work at construction, and so if I'm, like, talking to someone, I just, you know, I ask them questions and try and figure out what they're doing. And I realize I often get talked to, I feel like someone who's, like, 20. And my dad and his partner pointed it out, like... that people kind of talk to me like I'm much younger than I am, and I think it's because I wear a hat at work. So you can't tell how like impossibly gray my hair is. And then I'm like, you know, asking a bunch of questions, and you know, I'm like clearly not the lead builder there. So yeah, get the little boy treatment for a 43-year-old man. Bing! I love the I've Got a Rock. That's like my favorite thing about this game. Is the I've Got a Rock when you pick up one of the enemies that doesn't give you a power-up, and the I've Got a Rock when you actually get the rock. See, there's the little girl. I just shot her. Whatever character that might be. She's the mascot of this game, apparently. I would guess... I think she was the boss, maybe the second level boss? Is this the... There he goes. Now he's got a real rock. And look how happy he is. Just look how excited he is in that little picture down there. Just living his best rock life. Bye! There she is. High jump. Okay. Ah, so close. You said the scrolling. Yeah, when he's like kind of going through the tower is really cool. It's a pretty neat effect. Alright, let's see how my reaction skills are. I don't think that's gonna be fast enough. $11, not fast enough. That's the fastest I can get, I think. I think you need to be faster than 10, though. What the fuck is that? Oh, I got him. This looks like just a pile of clothes there. I don't know what that was. Like someone just like took off their coat and threw it in the corner of the room. That's what it looked like I just fought. Kirby shot first. Yeah, nailed it, dude. Well, there's no music. Listen to that. Talking about a PC engine. That's something I've always considered. I don't think there's enough games that I've ever been psyched about that I've been like, I should get one. And now it's kind of reached a point where like to get the better, more expensive games are pretty pricey. But even back in the day when I was like really starting to begin collecting for the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, I considered it and ultimately it was like, I just don't know enough about it. Like the Newtopia games, like there just weren't enough that I was like, yeah, I definitely got to get that. Whereas for the Super Nintendo and Genesis, it was pretty clear what games I was looking for. The Chrono Triggers and Hauntings, these like weird and awesome games. Haunting is a game I would almost stream. If you've never played Haunting, it's a game where you're a ghost and you can inhabit different parts of these people's house to like scare them to death. That's the point. I think while it's a really cool game and there's a lot of really cool ideas, I find the gameplay ultimately very boring. You kind of just do the same thing over and over again. And there's not really any challenge other than doing it quickly. That's it. Darkman is an amazing movie. There's Arikar, thank you. I realized too late that I didn't shout you out about the EverDrive that I'm playing on. Thank you, Ari. Thanks to you, we get to watch whatever the hell this is. Which is pretty awesome, actually. I actually am really enjoying this. The last time I streamed Kirby, I don't think I was really that psyched on it. I think I was kind of just over it. But I'm enjoying it now. I don't know, maybe I'm like not thinking about it as much and it's just nice to see something slightly different. But thank you again. I had plans to play Final Fight 3 at some point, which I talked about in that video about Hummer, the bootlegs. I might just stream that on my own. I was maybe gonna have my buddy James come over and play that, but I think I'm gonna have him come play a different game. So I may just stream that on its own because you can play it 2-player co-op with 1 player, with the computer as your co-op character. And I realized there is a game where you can do that. I couldn't think of one when I made the video, but X-Men is a game where you can do that, where you have a computer controlled character. Except in that game, you don't have a choice. You have to have a computer controlled character. Damn, got lit up. I mean, really, any projectile in this game, the like cut blade or the fireball or something, is more effective than the needle or the rock, the throws, but they're way more fun to use. They're completely impractical, but way more fun to use. And look at how cool the animation. Damn it. Well, don't look at how cool the animation is for the needle because I lost it. So close. 2-player Final Fight 3 SNES. I do not have that game. That would be cool. I have the first one, but not any of the co-op ones. I had a whole list of Super Nintendo games I really wanted, but there were just so many that fit that profile of Final Fight 2 and 3. I don't have Mega Man 3. I have Mega Man 2. Captain Commando, like all these really rad games that now each of them is like 150 to 200 bucks, somewhere in there. That's really hard. I just don't have it like that. to be like spending that kind of money. Like I could do that like once a year. So like my beloved wild guns that I've been wanting to get for 20 years, I still haven't purchased because like I just don't want to spend the money. And for the Super Nintendo, there were probably 50 games like that that I was really psyched on, but that were way too expensive. Okay. Gonna say burning is probably my favorite. Both the actual ability and the little graphic at the bottom with this like weird skeleton warrior burning an eternal hellfire. Pretty sweet. My daughter is going as Snow White. I don't know why. It's not like a contemporary princess in the way that like she went as Elsa one year. Or what's her name from Encanto? Like for some reason this year she wants to be Snow White. She even does that like weird my daughter's so weird. But she of course then wants all of us to dress in costume too, and I was like, well, what other costumes are there? Like we're not all gonna be dwarves or something. And she was like, Dad, you could be the prince. I was like, I'm not being the prince. That's weird. Not being the prince. I'll be the magic mirror. And so now I gotta figure out my magic mirror costume, which would actually be a pretty cool costume. But I gotta think about how that's gonna work. Streets of Rage remake, no. Yeah, Hagar's ponytail. Never gonna buy AVG in Scan because he showed up on a racist side scrollers podcast twice. I don't know who you're talking about. Sorry. But go on. I guess there's another exit there. Let's take a look. Maybe it'll be obvious. The only person I found recently that I was like, what the fuck is this? Is the guy who used to be on Screw Attack. That is a hilarious page of just completely misplaced aggression and incel vibes, like so fucking hard. Jesus Christ. Like ashamed to know that exists. And of course it's like super popular. No, I know who Jane, I know who she is. I mean, I don't know side scroll. I don't know what that is. Is it the Screw Attack? Yeah. Yeah, that guy's a piece of shit. Is that Stuttering Craig? Fuck that guy. That channel is hilarious garbage. It makes me excited that I have two girls because they'll probably get into some bullshit, but it won't be something like that. Thank God. The poor corruptible male minds out there that might watch something like that and be like, this guy's got some good points. Fuck me. They'll probably just be into whatever the Kardashian grandkids are into. Whatever horrible shit they're into. Wait, so... some candy. I must have gotten in that door below. Did I? No, I've been this way. Maybe one of these is a secret? Let's find out. This is gonna be really boring. Okay, probably not. It would have to be on the top row here. Okay, not here. If I don't find this, we're not gonna like keep looking. It's not that important. What does he say? I would say don't watch it, but it's like, it's typical like right-wing signaling of like the culture wars are ruining the world, you know? Trans people in games. Why is everything so woke? It's like a lot of that shit, where it's like, shut the fuck up. Fucking losers. Maybe take up bike riding or something? I don't know. Get off your fucking computer. I'm getting another beer. I don't have to work tomorrow. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to work tomorrow. You could go over to his channel and just see what the names of the videos are. That would be plenty. I am also on my computer. That's not my point. My point is, if you want to see something terrible, good, regardless of where you align politically or whatever, spend all your day online and it'll come true. And if you continue to perpetuate it, it'll become more true for other people, regardless of whether it's actually happening or not. Find more and more when I'm on my beloved Reddit, how many of the sources of news articles are like complete garbage on both sides. Complete garbage. Just no-name sites with no staff. And they'll have 30,000 likes or something. It's like, that means people are seeing this and they are responding to it like it is true. It sucks, man. It sucks. We are living deep in the age of disinformation. And chuds like that are only making it worse by like just pushing some of the most hateful ideas. Like they're being victimized by fucking nobody. Whee! Whee! My buddy Scott sent me a video about, speaking of disinformation, it wasn't, about the origins of breakbeats and how that kind of started on the Commodore Amiga, which I didn't know anything about. That was like the initial program or computer that people were using for that kind of stuff. And that that in turn led to a lot of, because it was bigger in the UK, a lot of UK producers using it to create early like jungle drum and bass. That then led to become more popular in Japan with stuff like the Streets of Rage soundtrack, where it's definitely, that is house music, you know, acid house maybe, but it's something like that. That then by the time they got to the N64, it was like heavily in the mix. That a lot of the soundtracks were heavily influenced by drum and bass, which I thought was pretty interesting. I never really thought about it, but it's true. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I can think of examples, is what I mean. Just like I talked about YMO, the Yellow Magic Orchestra. them and Kraftwerk, which, you know, YMO is definitely heavily indebted to Kraftwerk. But like the early electronic music is very strongly in the mix for like what shaped video game music. When you listen to stuff like this, even, you can hear the influence of a band like YMO, for sure, because they pioneered a sound that then became the kind of default for especially the earlier stuff, 8 and 16-bit stuff. Don't hate your neighbor is fine for 2025 America. That would be an upgrade. I mean, in a time where you can make anything, right? Like you could, through the use of AI or just, you know, like so much technology and information of how to use that technology, you can make whatever you wanted. So it's always fascinating to think about the limitations and what you could create from that. The Rekka soundtrack is a perfect example. The Rekka soundtrack is fucking crazy. And like some of the Konami soundtracks and even this one have like these, I don't know if this actually has a specialized chip like some of the late Konami soundtracks, Castlevania 3 and or even like the Sunsoft stuff like Gimmick, but like as far as I know, Rekka does not have that. And it has the craziest soundtrack I've ever heard. It is nuts. Speaking of house music. So like thinking about that, thinking about someone like creating something so textured and impressive from very little is awesome. It's awesome. I think I'm gonna give up on the hidden exits. I don't know if we have enough time to really, I mean, there's no time. Like I said, I don't have to work tomorrow, so maybe I'll just focus on trying to beat the game. And if we see a hidden exit, we'll go for it. But otherwise, we'll just keep going. Look at this guy. Angry Frankenstein over here. Oops. Damn it. Who told you to jump around this much? Damn it. There we go. Damn it. This guy. Every time. Whoa, I didn't realize you could land on this building. Look at this. I don't know why that's such a revelation for me, but it is. Damn it. Damn it! This motherfucker. There we go. This is actually a pretty rare item. You listen to Mellow Gold? I still love that album. I had it when I was, I mean, when it came out, I was in 6th grade. But, so I don't think I really listened to it as deeply as I could have, as I would now. But I would listen to stuff like Truck Driving Neighbors Downstairs, which is pretty funny. But it's a great album. I think the first, I mean, One Foot in the Grave is I guess his first one. There's kind of like a stereopathic soul manure. I don't really know how you qualify that. It definitely is an album. I've just never really listened to it too much. But I think of like Mellow Gold as being the first album, even though it's not. And then the ones that I listen to the most, Odelay for sure, but Mutations is the one I've listened to the most of all of them. That is, in my opinion, easily his best album. But it's also really different from Odelay, so it's like I don't think there's really a better or worse one or something like that. They're very different albums, and so is Midnight Vultures. But while I do love that album, I don't love it as much as Mutations or Odelay. After that, it's aight. It's aight. I feel like I got pretty bored of Beck after that. In a way I maybe didn't necessarily get with Radiohead, who kind of had a similar trajectory. I find their later stuff to be actually still pretty interesting. It's hard to keep making music. Not that I ever made any music, but like, it's really hard to like keep making interesting music. Most bands have one good album and then they make a couple bad albums and then call it quits. And then some groups like Radiohead or Beck kind of get better and then a little worse over time. It doesn't go on forever. They can't all be the Beatles where they just get progressively better as they go on and then quit. A slow down fix? A little bit, yeah. There's especially with the ice, there's definitely some slowdown. But it's not that bad. I've seen worse. If someone knows how to do a curse counter, I will gladly take it. Yes, I thought Guerrero was okay. It felt like a watered down version of Odelay. And I think that's kind of what it was supposed to be. It had you know, the same producers for the most part. It had a similar sound, but like he just sounds older. It sounds way less raw than Odelay does. What the hell is that? Yabish. Pile of clothes. Nice. Played bass. Wouldn't mind. Lightning Hopkins. I can't tell if that's a real band or not. Or a real performer. It just sounds like a made-up blues guy's name. Old Torn Pants McGee. He sure did play a mean banjo. I'm sorry. What happens if you keep going up? Nothing. I had a period where I was kind of trying to get into the old blues stuff, partially because of Beck. On One Foot in the Grave, he covers a Skip James song, and so I kind of listened to Skip James, who doesn't sound like anybody else, that's for sure. And Robert Johnson and Lead Belly and that kind of stuff. I think because I like really want the experience of like a solid album, you know, it just wasn't really that sort of consideration in fucking 30s or something, you know. Just be happy to make a record at all. But musically, pretty interesting. Still, to this day. One of my favorite documentaries is Scratch, which is about, it's just about records. It's about DJing, scratching, turntablism, that kind of thing. And one of the best bits is they have Mixmaster Mike, who is the DJ for the Beastie Boys, and he's playing a Robert Johnson song, and then he mixes it with Dead Prez hip hop. It's pretty amazing. If you just look that up real quick, if you're not doing anything at this exact moment, look up that clip. It's one of my favorite clips. The rest of the movie is pretty good, but that's my favorite part of the whole thing. That, and there's this one session where it's like DJ Shadow and Qbert and Madlib. It's like a bunch of random people hanging out, and they're having like a DJ session. that shit is amazing. It really is amazing. And all the stuff with DJ Shadow is really cool because his stuff is more about sampling and digging, like looking for records and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting. The same director made another documentary that I really like called Infamy, which is about it's about graffiti writing, and that is a very well done documentary. It like really kind of highlights, it's all about American graffiti, but highlights like the differences between kind of East and West Coast graffiti, like different personalities. Some people are more gangster, some people are not. Like styles are very different. It's really interesting. They even, one of the main people they focus on is like a guy who just paints over graffiti, and he's also very interesting. So yeah, check those out. I had trouble streaming them, so I actually bought them on DVD like a grandpa. And my wife and I actually have been buying more DVDs just because we've just been struggling to find some of the stuff we're looking for, and are really getting tired of having to scrounge for it.
Brock Sampson donated $2. Tetris 64 donated $2. Broken Beat Tetris 64 OS. Check it out. Broken Beat.
Okay.
Check it out.
I will. I'm not familiar with Tetris 64 at all, so I will. That's awesome. Introducing is amazing. It really is. There's a prime example of someone who made one very good album and then struggled to replicate it. Not that he hasn't made some interesting music, like Uncle is pretty interesting. The first Uncle album, science fiction, but he could not reproduce Introducing, and so I think tried to do other stuff, and I just don't find it anywhere near as interesting. But that record is fucking fascinating. I don't think I understood it at first, because I first listened to it in college, like 18. And I just didn't have any frame of reference for something like that. So it took me longer to get into that than it did some of his like homies like Black Delicious or Latyrix or something. It took me longer because it's very cerebral and had never been done at the time. Maybe I have Tetris Sphere. Sure, there's something really cool in that section in the middle. If I remember correctly, there's not any levels that are hidden. It's only like the mini games, so it's really not like we're really missing much if we don't get all the secret exits. And we're just shooting the shit here, guys. Man, I wish I could figure out a better system for this. My friend David has does like a LAN party, and it's since kind of evolved into more of like a retro game party. Like he sets up 8 TVs with every system you could think of, including like, you know, Famicom and the disk system, like all kinds of stuff. And then just has people over to play. So Andy, who's been on here a bunch of times, Andy and I went out to his house and hung out. And I wanted to like take more pictures and like share it with you guys because it's very cool. Like it's as someone who plays a lot of video games for my channel, it was really fun to just not really give a shit and just play stuff for kicks, like stuff on the Xbox I would never play. It might have even been Xbox 360, like just random shit. It was really fun. So props to him if he's out there right now, but if not, props to him either way. We had a good time, and like I know David, he's married to one of my wife's best friends, but otherwise, you know, I'm just kind of meeting his friends, you know, whenever I go out to this event. So it's like they're all super awesome. And then Andy is like one of my best friends, And I was like, I don't know if you would really want to go this. And so last time we went and saw the what's that movie called with Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd? Went and saw that movie, and then I was like, we should go do this. And we went out to this party, and it was fun. So I asked him this time, I was like, you want to go this? And I don't know why, but I was surprised that he wanted to go, and he did, and told me he had a great time. So that was really encouraging. Like, I don't really have a lot of friends who are really into video games, and Andy's not really into video games like that. So like, but he is like, but not like in the obsessive way that someone like myself would be. Or some of the other people who might be at this party would be. Or some of you guys might be. Like, the kind of people who would go to a game convention and have just an amazing time. So, yeah, it was really fun. RJD2, yeah. The yeah, his record is dead ringer as a killer. And the one after that I actually really like too. Can't remember what that one's called. Madlib I've never really, I don't think I really understood. Like, I've listened to the Quasimodo records, and like, I mean, Mad Villain is really interesting. But I think if Doom, like, interesting, like, I love it. I think if Doom weren't involved, I don't know if I ever would have listened to it, though. Like, I think his involvement is what makes it so fascinating. I do like that they use the this for the background, the like Hall of Fame where you can select various enemies. Whee! Just something random falling on my head there. I don't even know what it was. If you've never played Kirby, which I don't know why you'd be watching my channel if you've never played it, there's no strategy. There's like no consequences. You don't have to think about anything. You just keep flying. It actually makes it perfect for streaming because you don't really have, I mean, sometimes your thoughts and talking get in the way of actually playing the game well, especially if the game is difficult. But in this case, it's like, I don't even notice whether I live or die. It's completely inconsequential. Wish I lived my life like that. Completely unworried about what was actually happening at any moment. I hope you guys like the Bucky video. I've obviously talked about that game a ton. It wasn't like I was like dying to discuss it or something. It was more like I talked about it so many times, but also I wanted to like at some point do a whole thing about Konami, and I think I realized I was like, if I'm gonna do that, I'd rather have more footage. I keep reusing the same footage from Bucky, which is like the first 4 levels, and there's so much more of that game that, you know, I'm just gonna make a whole video. And I've done that a few times where I didn't actually want to make a video about the game itself, but because I was getting so much footage, I was like, fuck it, here we go. Like, I made a review of Zelda 2, for instance. Like, I never thought about making a specific review of Zelda 2, because then I talked about Zelda 2 clones. I thought that was the door. It's not. So I wouldn't have done a whole video about it, except that I played it all the way through. So I was like, you know what, screw it. The second hardest and longest part of making reviews, other than editing, is the footage. The footage takes a long time, depending on the game. So that's kind of part of the reasoning sometimes. It's just like, if I'm going to record so many hours of footage, I might as well make a review of it, and then I'll be able to use it later for something else. And sometimes that does save a lot of time. The next video I'm working on is 10:08. Somehow I'll remember that. I'll say 1010 and kind of zoom back to see if I can find this. And I've asked you guys for help on this, and you guys have given me suggestions, but I think I just either forget or need to go back and look. But I think the next video I'm going to work on is about broken mechanics. And there's a few specific examples, like the pendant in Faxanadu that's like supposed to make you stronger, but actually makes you weaker because of like a programming error. The wall jump in Strider that just does not fucking work. And then Battletoads. I still don't understand this one, but there's like apparently a place where if you play Battletoads 2-player, you can't beat the game. I'll have to like dig deep for that one. But I realized when I was like, okay, well, what do I need to do for that video? I had pretty much all the footage already, except for Final Fantasy. I don't have any Final Fantasy footage. So like that's gonna take a bit of time, but like everything else I already had the footage for. So all I had to do is write the script and then do the editing. Except now I gotta find only one of the longest games on the NES. I gotta get footage for that one. Yeah, if you could think of any examples of this. And I'm not talking about like games that are hard or something, but like games where like you're supposed to be able to do something and it just doesn't work. And not like you know, that shitty gun in Fester's Quest or something, or even the fire gun in Contra that like just doesn't really, it's not very effective. That's not the point. It's really like things that are programmed incorrectly, or like that you can't beat the game, soft blocking, that kind of stuff. That's what I want to know. So if you guys have examples of that, I will check back at 1010 and see if there are any good examples, or you can let me know on the Discord. There's a whole section on there called content suggestions, and I do often ask these questions, and I think I've asked this exact question before, and that's a super helpful way to just give me like a little bit of head start on some of these topics. And also some of these I say I'm going to revisit, and I have in the past, but others I'll probably never come back to. So I really do want to cover as much as I can so that I don't have to make another video for just like 2 things I missed or something, you know? Come on, buddy. Do I have to go all the way up and then fight him? I think so, yeah. Super blasted. Don't you mean discord.com/bigolwords, only $35 a month? I told Elucidus that there was a Discord option. Which, I'm sorry, you emailed me. Let me look at that. I'll look at that as soon as the stream is over. But yeah, I told him that I'd seen someone else post a Discord link that was like the name of their channel at the end, just discord.com. And he sent it to me. Apparently, to get that option is $35 a month just to have a Discord that ends with your name.
Samson donated $2. AVGN. That came from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde says.
Huh.
Samson donated $2. AVGN. That came from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde says.
So that's a tough one. Because yeah, it doesn't work. It does work on like one enemy. It's like the bees or something. I can't remember which one it hurts. But otherwise, yeah, it gives you no attack. So the question is, was it designed to be able to hurt people or not? And that's something I don't know. Like, when you play Strider, it's very clear that the jump is supposed to work a certain way, but like it straight up doesn't. And I watched a video where someone explained exactly why it doesn't work. Fuck that up. But like, I can't tell if the cane doesn't work or it's just like intentionally designed to only work against one enemy for no reason at all. And just be completely worthless. There are tons of worthless attacks I could probably think of, but they don't necessarily fit the description I'm thinking of like straight up broken like aspects to the game. But maybe. That's pretty close. Thank you for that, Brock. Oh god. So there, whoever I was saying that this game doesn't need a slowdown fix, that's a prime example. I literally could not escape him because the slowdown was so bad I couldn't move. Oh god. It's a pretty cool looking enemy. This is, I think, what the enemy already looks like, doesn't it? Cheetahman was all broken. That's very true. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was something like Metroid, for instance, like a weapon that like was supposed to do something but didn't. Where it's supposed to be a freeze ray, but it doesn't freeze. That's kind of what I'm talking about. It's like it very clearly says what it does, and then when you use it, it does absolutely nothing. Or like, I don't know, like something in River City Ransom you buy that like is supposed to do something and does absolutely nothing. The other example, to give you the entire video, which I guess, you know, the actual bullet points are not the point of the video, but the glove in Legacy of the Wizard is another example. One of my prime examples of a game that drives me fucking crazy. Ooh, what's down here? Is that the glove, if you've never played it, moves blocks. And I couldn't tell you why, but it does not move blocks the way it's supposed to. It just doesn't. It's one of the most infuriating things I've ever experienced. I fucking hate it.
Hey, Sweeney donated $2. Top spin from MM3.
That's a great suggestion, Matt. I'll have to think about that too. Is there a time where you can actually use the top spin? Because that's a great point. I don't think I've ever gotten that to do anything. Shadow Man. Okay, so it does have some effect. Then it kind of makes it like... Yeah, there's something in Final Fantasy 1, and I can't remember what it is. One of the magics doesn't work. Haha, froze you. Gave you a taste of your own medicine, you piece of shit. Yeah, see, if it has an effect, then I would agree with you that playing it is very pointless, but it kind of does have a use. I think it's because it reported to fix the lag. Yeah, I mean, I hear you, but like, yeah, I'm okay with it. I think if you didn't experience it all the time, it would maybe bother you more than it bothers me. Sprite flickering doesn't bother me at all. One of my favorite games is Turtles 3. I played it all the time, and I never thought about it for a second But if you never played that and you'd be like, what the hell is happening on the screen? Why is everything disappearing constantly? Oh my god, yeah, Goonies 2, that is a great example. So, Last Werewolf does, the backflip does work awkwardly, but it does work. But that's actually a good one. That's a great example. Okay. So in Last Werewolf, pretty much no moves work the way you want them to, but grabbing the ceiling is fucked up. The grabbing the ceiling does not work. Hi, Jeff. What is up with you? So that's actually a great example. The cloak of invisibility. I actually never thought about that. Okay, this is at 10:19. All right, so I'm gonna look back to all this. I'm gonna take a look around. That would be a good one. I totally forgot about the cloak of invisibility, so I'd have to play it again and kind of see what that does. But that's a, if that is what you mean, that's a perfect example. You know what game has very slow gameplay? Kirby's Dream Land 3 on the Super Nintendo is much slower than this. Every second of the game is like there's slowdown happening. That and it just feels slow, like Kirby moves slowly. So like just when it starts to get even slower, it just feels like such a slog. Bye. Yeah, you can see definitely the ice, it slows down quite a bit. Something about that animation really challenges the system here. Oops, got a little too close. Hey. Damn it. It's a lot of lion fights. Yeah. I hate having to take on 8 guys over and over. Damn, that's a tasty beer. This is New Realm, which is here in Atlanta, and it's Tiki Like a Fox, which is a fucking terrible name. And it's like a Hawaiian themed tropical hazy IPA. It's pretty good. I wouldn't have guessed that kind of beer would be something I was into, but it is. It's pretty good. I think IPAs in general, I'm old enough to remember where they were like a pretty new thing. And thinking they were like pretty gross, but being young, I was like, but they have high alcohol. I kind of got used to them. But over time, I really discovered that's the kind of beer I actually really enjoy to drink. And it's unfortunate now, as an adult, when I don't want to get drunk, that they are so high in alcohol. Because I don't prefer to drink like well, sometimes I do like drinking a cerveza or something, but like I don't prefer to drink a lighter beer. I prefer to drink an IPA at all times, summer or winter. Sometimes I'm like, just get so fucked up so quickly because I just don't have any tolerance anymore. Blonde ales. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like good Belgian stuff, right? Is that kind of what you mean? Is that a blonde ale? I actually don't know what a blonde ale is. Oh, I want that. I mean, probably the most useless... Oh, cool. I haven't had the tornado yet. The most useless attack is the sleep, which just puts you to sleep. It's pretty funny, though. But after that, the umbrella is pretty worthless. There's really no reason you need it because Kirby can already float. That's not going to be helpful. Okay, that's not going to be helpful. You fish. I've been casually rewatching Game of Thrones, which I know is not going to go well, but it's crazy how good that show is for the first 4 seasons. I'm not saying anything new here. For the first 4 seasons, and then how quickly it drops off just at the beginning of that 5th season. I don't think we realized it at the time, especially if you didn't read the books. But yeah, it's a stark difference in just like tone and action and like whatever the hell is happening in the story at that point. It gets so convoluted so quickly in the worst way possible. The other thing we've been watching a ton of, like a lot of people, is K-pop Demon Hunters with my daughter, and I have to admit, I like think about it all the time. That shit is like stuck in my head. It reminds me a lot of Turning Red, if anyone watched that, which did not get anywhere near the popularity of K-pop Demon Hunters, but was a Pixar movie. It's not like it's like some obscure property or something, but like it's very similar. I mean, a very different story, but very similar, like humor and like style as far as animation. Not they're different, but like as far as like kind of the anime homage animation style. And then the whole thing focuses around like in that case, it's a boy band in Turning Red, but kind of similar stuff. And the music is also very catchy. And my like daughter was obsessed with, but right now she is obsessed with K-pop Demon Hunters. It is very good. I cannot front. They're very, very well crafted songs. And I say that as someone who like obviously is that's not like my preferred form of music or something, but you know, I can respect when especially a pop song is done really well. Something like ABBA, Hall & Oates, Toxic by Britney Spears. These are like songs that I would never listen to on purpose per se, but when you really pay attention to them, they are like incredibly well crafted. They are just like perfect pop songs. And that movie is full of them, for sure. So is Turning Red. So is Encanto. There's a reason that, like, those, especially Encanto, became so popular, because it's like, my daughter loved it, but it's like, these are incredibly catchy songs. Very well written. That's all I got, guys. That's my pop culture review for today. Aside from playing this weird-ass Kirby game, I give you my very, very half-assed review of K-pop Demon Hunters. I say watch it. Now, I completely agree about it being Frozen. I think Frozen are poorly crafted songs. I think it's basically one chorus and then a bunch of classic like bullshit musical style where it's like people just singing their thoughts. It's very lazy. I find Frozen to be like, obviously the main song is very catchy, but I find it to be a very shallow soundtrack in comparison to something like Encanto or K-pop Demon Hunters. Said there's Madonna songs I mean, because they're good Madonna songs. There's that Madonna album that came out when I was in college that has like Ray of Light on it. It's like a bunch of damn it, I wanted that. It's like a bunch of house music style. It's like very gay club sounding, and that was, I think, like her intention was, what? I couldn't get the UFO? Oh no, there's no UFO power up. That's such a bummer. Oh, there it is. Maybe. There it is. The best power up in the game. And my wife played it for me, and I wasn't really into it, but like I could kind of see how it was interesting, and it actually is kind of influential. What happened? That was weird. It played the music from the shoot-off, standoff, whatever you would call that. That was weird. That's the first slightly glitchy thing I've seen so far. If you never played this game, this is the undoubtedly best power-up. You can fly the entire time. It has like a death ray, a laser. The laser is actually harder to use than I remember. And then if you hold it down, you apparently get a stronger shot. That's pretty cool. Okay, you kind of have to hold it down like that. Okay, got it. It's a cool looking level. This is definitely not an original Kirby level. Fuck out of here. No. Oh well. Shadowgate equals Q. I have no idea what that means. Oh, that's bad. I don't know why I didn't realize that was bad. Say, steals your key. Oh, okay. Do you consider that a broken mechanic, or is that just like what's supposed to happen? I've never made it that far. I think I've only made it to the second level of Monster Party. I've thought about streaming it before, but I think for that reason where I just am not very good at it. I often debate some stuff where it's like, can I actually play that game? I don't know. Ninja Gaiden has been one I've been putting off for a long time. And it's because I know if I like really stuck with it, I could beat it, but like I've never really sat down to beat it. I don't know if I ever had finished it actually. And these days I just don't devote as much time to streaming length because of just like I just have like a really early day right now. I'll get up at 6 here, so like I can't really be hanging out till 2 in the morning playing Ninja Gaiden and then like go, you know, do everything all day. I'm not gonna make it. And part of it is like I need to then also be able to recuperate in order to work on this channel again at night. So I can't like stay up late and then burn myself out during the day somehow and then also still work at this night. It's part of why I like don't really do as much socially anymore. Is I'll end up like going to a show with my friend or something and like just getting even the slightest bit hungover and then like missing an entire day of working on my hobby, which sucks. A lot of these fights too. I don't remember. I mean, I guess there are a lot of these, but oh, goddamn. I forget that you can use his breath as a weapon. Damn, that sucks. They really don't want you to use power-ups in these fights. Yeah, they really do not. It's so much harder to use a power-up than just to eat them. So much easier to just walk around and scoop them up than it is to try and fight them. Damn, that sucked. Did you watch Monster Party on AVGN? I don't remember him ever talking about that game. It's possible. Maybe they streamed it or something. It's a tough one. I haven't actually really talked about that game at all. And I love Monster Party. I think it's really fascinating. But I haven't really had any great reason to talk about it. It doesn't really fit any of the categories of like what I talk about on this channel. At some point, I'm sure it'll like fit a category and I can kind of take some time to talk about it. But I haven't really felt compelled to like make a whole review of it or something. People do ask about Zexus a lot, which is very similar to Monster Party in design, although it has like shooting sections, but the regular level is very similar. So like walking around and going indoors is very similar. Damn, that is a video I keep forgetting to make, my doors video. My most pointless video of them all. A video about games where you go through too many doors, like Dr. Chaos, Monster Party, Goonies 2. Maybe even this game. You can go through a shitload of doors in this one. I probably will make that video at some point, just because. Like, it has zero appeal. I don't know what audience is out there trying to watch a video about doors. But watch that be like my most popular video. The way that my girlfriend video did not work, maybe my doors video will be very popular. These fights are very unique, where it's like you're fighting a boss, but there are other enemies around. That you don't see very at all in Kirby. It's always isolated. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, my million view video. I don't know if I'll ever have a million view video now that I think about it. I think one of them has like 300,000 views. And I think if the nudie video hadn't been taken down, I think that actually would have gotten a shitload of views, which makes sense, right? It wasn't like a clickbait or something, but like it's obviously something that like people would click on. But before it got taken down, it had like 100,000 views, and it had only been up for, I don't know, a few weeks or something. So who knows? Who cares? Like I've said many times, I've never intentionally made a video because I thought it would get a certain amount of views or something. That's never been my intention. I make stuff because I think it's interesting or it's just on my mind at the time. That's all. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's not like I made this Bucky O'Hare video thinking like I would get a million views. I made it because I just wanted to talk about the Bucky O'Hare game. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see, level 6. It's probably 8. Do I want to take it that far? I don't know. Let's see. I am feeling the general Kirby malaise of like not really being that interested in this anymore, but we're not that far away from it, from the end. That was it? All right. No? Where the hell am I going in this stage? Not down here. Yeah, the werewolf is a really good example. I'm still thinking about that. Which is funny, because I've talked about that game several times. I don't know why I didn't think of that one. But that's a really great example. I was thinking about Wolverine's claws, which, like, hurt you in the Wolverine game. But that's not... I mean, that's intentional. But then Werewolf, The Last Warrior is definitely a Wolverine game, which is why then I thought about that. So thank you for that. Oh, look at that. I unintentionally did something. That was pretty clever. If you sucked up both of them, it would be enough to break that. That's not something you see in the original Kirby. It's a really interesting hack. Most of the hacks I've played are like, you could kind of tell what game it's using the architecture of, but it's not really that close. That like Beatles game is obviously Mario 2, but like it doesn't really mechanically play that much like the Mario 2 game. I mean, everything about it is similar, but it's a very different way of playing it. This feels very much like the first Kirby, but like, or the first Kirby, the only Kirby, but just different enough that I can't really tell the difference. I want to do a video about Moffat. It's been on my list for a while. That was made by someone interesting. Who was it? ICOM. That's right. ICOM, who made a Steinax and Totally Rad. They also made Moffat Conspiracy. Not Go-Go 13, but Moffat Conspiracy. And I don't know why I haven't got to that one yet. It's a good question. I've talked about both of them in a video about obscure sequels. I talked about both games a bit, but I want to play all of Moffat Conspiracy and like really get to it. I think I stopped when as soon as you get to the first person levels. I think I gave up because I hate those things. But I'm sure I could slog through that and get to the rest of the game. Oh. Are you a rock? You are a rock. And another one. Look at me. Accidentally opening doors. It's a little confusing. Like, I mean, if you saw what I just did there, you run into these yellow ones, but you walk past these red ones. Just from a design standpoint, that's very awkward. Like, this is a cool looking level. It is a little hard to tell what's going on. But look at, I mean, look at that. Let's try to pause it. Look at the effort here to, like, those statues. All that's not in the original game. Someone had to draw that out. I mean, it really is very admirable. The ROM hack community is really impressive. The homebrew community, even more so. But I feel like the ROM hack community, maybe they are more impressive because, like, they get nothing. I don't even know who did this game. I should, because I downloaded it from ROM hacking just yesterday. And I should be giving these people more credit because they're the ones who are actually making this. But, like, you know, they get very little credit. These games go largely unplayed except by the very, very hardcore fans like us. At least the homebrews get, like, you know, more modern appreciation. There is no White Castle in Atlanta. I only know about it from the movie. That's it. Even in New England, I don't remember seeing them. I'm sure there are some, but also, you know, I'm vegetarian, so like I never really sought out much fast food stuff. We have Crystal. That's the thing. Yeah, we have crystals. Yeah. I agree. The soundtrack could have been more spooky. They didn't really. They put in a lot of effort on the graphics, but not as much on the music. This is pretty upbeat. Oof! I almost drowned because of the slowdown. Whoa! I don't know if anybody does the fantasy football out there, but I love fantasy football. I talk about it all the time. And for the first time in a long time, knock on wood, my team is fucking dominating. I think usually I think I'm really smart in the way I've drafted a team, and a lot of my very smart picks do not work out because I'm way overthinking it. And this year I actually did not overthink it. I kind of just went with what I thought were like sensible picks, and my team is actually very good, and I've got some injuries but have largely been able to compensate, and that's made a huge difference. Usually if you play fantasy football, and I'm only going to talk about it for 1 minute more, you can pick up new players on the waiver wire. I am the master of that. That's the only reason I've ever been competitive, is I'll have bad teams and then spend all my time picking up players and improving my team. And this is the first year I really haven't had to do that. It's been really crazy. What? The Giants are winning? Holy shit. James Halcrow will be very pumped. He is a diehard Giants fan. He watches every goddamn game, even when they're terrible, and gets super pissed about it, even when they're really terrible. I was that way with the Falcons, even when they were really bad, but like, I don't know what it is about football. It's completely something about it. I think because now we have a soccer team, I just prefer the sport so much more. I would much rather be watching soccer. That like, I just get frustrated by it.
Natty Hop donated $10. Great stream, sir. You should do more holiday ROM hacks in the future. Good stuff.
Hey, thank you, Natty Hop. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. I think you're on the Patreon. I did just ask about some games. So next week there is a Solstice hack, which is not really Halloween themed, but is sort of spooky. But yeah, I'll look for some other ones. There are other Castlevania games I haven't played yet. There are a few Metroid hacks that I would love to stream. They aren't really spooky, but they are very cool. They also may be a little too involved for like a singular stream, but we'll give them a shot. Very soon I will work on your sign. I actually have more signs than I can keep up with for once. That has been a rare side effect of things, is like I can only make a video every 2 weeks. That's me like maxing out, supremely maxing out to make those videos. I mean, like even that Bucky one I was working on the night before. I had not finished editing it until about 11:30 at night. So like, I only want to do one sign per video. I don't want people to feel like they're getting shortchanged or something, but like it just takes me forever to get to them. So I apologize if you've joined and you're waiting, but I'm getting to it, and I really appreciate it. It means a fuckload. You guys in general mean a fuckload. Really do. I only do this because my wife is supportive, but after that I do it because you guys are supportive, because you guys give me feedback and genuinely seem to like whatever the hell I'm doing here, both streaming and reviews and whatever. Otherwise I really would, this would have been something I did for a while, and regardless of how I viewed it in terms of success, I probably would have moved on from it. I only continue to do it because I continually get positive feedback from you guys that you're enjoying it and like whatever the hell I'm putting out here. See, like this guy, I don't even think you need to fight him, do you? Yeah, so that's something new about this one, is just having random mini bosses that you can completely avoid. Love this effect. Completely slowing down the game, but love this effect. So slow. I like that they penalize you for flying here. That's what those umbrellas are for. Just to make sure you don't fly the entire time. It says cool to engage with someone. So, yeah, for sure. You know, like I can't do a channel about everything I'm interested in and find all the people who are big, you know, sketch comedy fans or something, or like, you know, big graffiti fans or something. You know, this is one of many things I'm very interested in. But I don't know why I selected this of all things to be the thing I wanted to do a channel about, but it is. And I have found many like-minded people who aren't just interested in video games. And I think that's been the interesting combination of like subtle things about my channel, where I might wear a shirt, or I might, you know, mention something in passing, or like on stream I talk about more things, or on Patreon things more specifically that I'm interested in. And then I find out that a lot of the people that you know, are interested in the NES are also fans of like weird ass music that I like, or movies, or whatever, you know. I've had several people mention that they were graffiti writers, and it's like, you know, like I have friends who are graffiti writers, but like I don't really communicate with a lot of people about graffiti very often at all. So it's been cool just to see that people can tell that's like one of my interests, and like and to see our like our paths converge. And like one of my buddies who is a graffiti writer is also really into retro games. He loves my channel, so it's like one of those weird things that you converge on. Who knows? This might be as far. I don't know if I'm gonna get to the end. I'm kind of curious, but I don't think I'm gonna, like, I can tell this will probably take at least another hour to get to the final boss. I don't think I'm gonna play it that long. Even though I don't have to work tomorrow, I still have to get up at 6 to take the kids to school, so not completely off the hook here. Another thing about the signs that I've been very confused by. I've been confused how many people will sign up for them and then never respond when I ask them about it. Because I always ask, you know, what games they're into, like what name they want on the sign, basic stuff. And I'm not asking for much. I would say probably, maybe even like 25%, maybe 10% don't ever respond ever. And it's like, okay. Well, here's your sign. One of the most recent signs I made was for someone who never responded. So I think it was in the Hummer video. So I just kind of like did whatever. I think they've already left the Patreon. I have no idea what they were trying to get out of it. If they even saw that sign or not. But they got one. Whee! So slow. These guys got really carried away with the wind effect here. Go on. It is a very intentional thing with these fights. They really do want you to fight them legitly, like not use the power-ups, but like, you know, grab whatever they're throwing out there, throw it back at them, dodge. It's both easier and harder to use power-ups against some of these bosses. Fuck. I might die. go. I'll take it. Get thrown, fool. Oops. I've said many times I was one of those kids who still had an NES in 1994 when this game came out. And I did rent this and was in awe of it. I was really impressed by it. Because I had seen stuff like Super Mario World and knew about like the way the doors worked, like the overworld where you're choosing levels and like unlocking new areas and stuff. And I was very impressed by it. I couldn't believe how much gameplay they'd snuck into it. Even at the time where like you're a kid, you don't really have any concept of what this all means. I was very impressed by Kirby. Very impressed. I do think ultimately it's kind of a flawed game in its design, and that it's like so easy that it's almost mindless. But technically it's incredibly impressive. And the first time you play it is very fun. Finally got a 1-up. Play the game with your TV upside down. Or I could just lay upside down, I guess. I love Bucky so much. It's so goddamn hard, but I love that game. It really is like a perfect... It's a perfect game to summarize this channel. That or a really bad game like... I don't know what a prime example would be. But like maybe a flawed game like Werewolf the Last Warrior, but like... I just do this and he'll just die. Let's test this theory. No. I guess you can. Bye-bye. I think that's probably plenty. That looks pretty cool. Let's just take a look real quick, since we're here. Okay, it's a graveyard. This looks awesome. It really does. Props to whoever made this. I'm sure you guys have already looked it up by now and posted it, but whoever made this did a great job. This is a really nice looking game. Props to you. That's probably all I'm going to play for tonight. Thank you guys for watching and hanging out. Check out the Discord. Hopefully Ulysses will post a link to it. And yeah, I won't have a new video next week, but I am starting on a new one now. That's all I got. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for being so supportive and awesome. Until next time, bye.